So in this lesson I'm going to start with the face sculpture. I'm going to begin with marking the features. So I'm just starting here, that is where the chin is going to be, and then I'm just going to measure how much is the top of the crown here, which is 12 centimeters, right? So the eyes have to be made at half of that. Okay, so I'm just going to find where is 6. Okay, then now I'm going to make a straight line. Use my tool and then just make a straight line marking for the eye. Okay, so that's where the eye is going to be, and then I'm just going to mark the hairline. Okay, and I'm going to measure from the chin into the hairline. I find that is at 11.5. So 11.5 divided by 3. I'm just going to find the positions of the eyebrow, nose and the chin end. So it will be 11.5 divided by 3 is a 3.8. So from the top it's a 3.8. I'm just marking here. So this will be the eyebrow line. And from there I am marking another 3.8. So this will be the nose. This is where the nose is going to be, and then the rest is going to be the chin. Okay, now this one was the first line we did, and that is the eyes. Now we have to mark the position for the eyes, for which we just need to find out the eye parts, 5 eye parts, right? So to mark that, I am just going to hold this on the side and keep the scale here on that line, and we need to have the marking from the other side as well, and then I just need to find it is 9. So that 9 has to be divided into 5. It's a 1.8. So I'm just going to just keep this, hold this here, so I'll know that I'm just starting from the right position. And then for a 1.8 I'm just going to mark here, and from that point there has to be another 1.8, another 1.8, okay, so then the last portion will be another 1.8. So like we've seen in the basic face anatomy drawing lessons, this last 2 is not the eye part. The second and the third, second and the fourth. So I'm just going to make a marking here. I will be creating the cheeks and all that, so it's just not going to be just lying here. But then what we are going to understand here is the eye should be anywhere within this marking, and we should not lose this out. Okay, so the gap between the eyes is 1 eye gap, and that is where the nose is going to come. Now I'm just going to draw a straight line down from the inside edge of the eyes, and this is where I'm just going to have my nose. So here, though that will be the eyeball, they're just marking, so, and I'm just going to mark a line down and then mark a line down here as well. And now to find where the lips is going to be, from the chin to the nose line we have to divide it into 3, so we have a 3.5. That 3.5 I'm going to divide into 3 and I have a 1.1. Okay. So it's basically 1. So I'm going to find 1 centimeter and then another 1 centimeter. The chin will be here. I have to be building the chin here. So this I know is the lip line. I have to build the lips in this line. Now these are just the markings. Now using the modeling chocolate I will be building the face without missing out the measurements that I have made. Now from here, so my lip will be anywhere within this. So that will be the upper lip and this will be the lower lip, and here I should have the dent and then the chin will come here. Okay, so let me just start with the modeling chocolate, start adding the features in the marked areas so we know how the features are defined. Just taking out the little bit of modeling chocolate, just making it soft. I'm just going to place it on the nose first because we don't want to lose out on the outline that we made. We just don't want to go beyond the outline. We could remove off if there is anything excess or if we just added more than needed and all that. Okay, so I have to be sure that the nose width is, I have to just keep a close watch on the nose width. Shaping can be done after making the position. It's just right straight from the inside edge of the eyes. So from the eyebrow line above there is going to be the forehead part. Let me just add all the joints. We could seal it, so not to worry. Okay, and without losing the marking of the lips, I'm going to add the cheek part. I'm just going to keep the outline of the eye without disturbing. Now if in case I am just adding the modeling chocolate on top of the marking that is made, then I have to use the tool to make sure I'm marking over the modeling chocolate that I am adding. I'm going to add the chin. I'm just taking blobs of the modeling chocolate. I'm just not even kneading it enough. Okay, so I know here is the lip line. I could do another level of measurement now that I know where the nose ends. I'm also going to give the jawline. I have to be careful. I'm just not going to change the position of the nose. I'm just going to also add here. Now so that's the modeling chocolate from the cling wrapped. I'm just removing directly from how it was made from the same pack. I'm just going to add a bit here. I'm going to create a cavity here. For the eyes position, so I could just do the eyeball within that cavity, or I have to be removing some part from the inside of the head, which is the Rice Krispie treats. So for now I'm just able to see my marking. So similarly on this side, so I'm just adding pieces as I need, wherever I just need to give in the bulk. I could use the carving tools to remove if I've added excess. So first fill up the places and then just blend in without losing the outline, and always use if you're just working on a face, always use both your hands doing the same strokes, so you know which side. Like here I can see with the same stroke I can feel this thumb is going over excess modeling chocolate. Here I find it less. So if I'm doing the strokes on both the sides using both my hands, then I'll be able to figure out where I have less and where I have more, and where I need to add, or if in case I just need to remove. So I need a bit here, and then I need a bit here. So I'm just first creating the dent for the eyes. So we just need that dent, and if for that dent, if I have to add in more, just keeping the nose in position. So now I know I have to be well within that eyes outline. Even the eye, in fact, the outline that I see is here, not more than that. So I'm just going to add the modeling chocolate and have a proper demarcation where the outline, what I did, which way I divided that into 5 parts, right? I just don't want to lose that. Now if we are overworking on the modeling chocolate and it is just becoming like very soft to handle, allow it some time. just keep it under the AC and then allow it some time, and then come back. It would have hardened up, and then you can just start working on it again. You can use your bare hands to work. You can have a better feel. I'm just pushing the excess modeling chocolate. You just need a little more forehead. I'm just going to add a bit here. So that's not the lip, but I'm just going to add in here and smooth out. So in case you have to just close all the lines, you could just use your fingers. That's the first thing. With just that warmth, you can see the excess modeling chocolate that we used here. The lines are just blending. The heat from your finger will just blend in. Because it's a Santa's face, we need more cheek, but for now we just know where the cheeks are, where the chin is, the jawline. Okay, and the nose, I just made sure it just has to be in place. It is gotten a little soft, so I can just allow a little more time. And now I can still go ahead and do the lip marking. Just start from the nose until here. It's like a 3.5. So it was 1.1, right? Which is the same thing. So that will be the lip. Another 1.1 will be the dent below the lower lip. So that is my lip, and this is my dent. My lower lip should be well within this place, and this is the chin. So let me add, that is just the modeling chocolate. I am just taking, I'm just going to smooth out like a thin sausage. Okay, I'm just going to add it for the upper lip. I will shape and then just remove the excess, but I'm just keeping the position for the lip without losing the line, the lip line. I'm just taking a little bit more. I'm just going to have a very small lower lip. Okay. Just have a knife-like tool. You can just remove the excess and also just smooth out. The only thing right now I have to be worried is not losing the, and then I know this is the eye, right? And then my lip has to be anywhere within that. I cannot let the lip go beyond the marking. So the excess can be removed or just blended. We will continue to work on the lip, but then what we know is just we have positioned the lip in place. Also the place above the lip is just not as flat as it is. There is a raised, it's not the mush, but then that part of the gap between the nose and the it has to be smoothened out. I'm just going to blend it, but I'm basically rising the level. Just need to blend in that. I'm also using the tools, shaper like tools, holding the lip in place. Okay. And this part from the middle of the nose, this also needs to go in and then blend. Okay, I'll come back to the lip. Now let me check if I just need to add in the cheek, a little bit more cheek, and then on the forehead. I'm just taking a small blob of the modeling chocolate. I'm just shaping it so it could just add a little bulk to the cheek part. So at any point of time, if the modeling chocolate is sticking to, if you're using your bare hands and the modeling chocolate is sticking, then you will be dipping your fingers into a bowl of maybe warm water or even room temperature water, doesn't matter. But then don't use sticky hands to go on and blend, because obviously it wouldn't allow you to do that. Okay, and then in a similar way, I'm just going to use the other blob on the other side. I'm just blending it near the nose. And now I'm just going to add more on the forehead, above the eyebrows. So I'm just going to increase the forehead. I have the modeling chocolate just shaped into a rectangle. I'm just going to place it there and then just blend it. Just trying to retain the outline of the eye and not lose the eye. I'm just going to flatten this. I'm using both the hands and the fingers to give the same stroke. and then see where there is just not enough or which side just has a little more. I'm just flattening this part. Now I'm just going to pick out the reference of the face, the Santa's face, and then start building. Now I have the basic shape that's just fixed as per the anatomy. The forehead is raised, the eye position is there. You just need a little more for the nose for to think that this is just gone right with the proportion. Just picking up. I'm just going to add. I will blend it. I'm just making the nose a little broader. I'm just adding this. You just still need some modeling tools. For now I'm just building, and then I'm just going to give the shape for the nose, and if needed add some more modeling chocolate. Okay, lip part we still need to work, so I'm just going to pick out the reference image. So this is what I'm just going to use as a reference to build the shape of the nose, and then fix the eye, and then forehead, cheek. I'm just going to start comparing the features. So this is a close-up of that same face, so I'm just going to hold it next to me to start looking where I just need to keep working. So I'm just going to add a little more here at the cheek. Just use your fingers to blend in. And also use the tools to just blend in first, so the joints just disappear to start with, and then you could use your fingers to smooth out. Okay, so this cheek part is good. I'm just going to do the same on the other side, and just also add a bit here. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side, where there is a little lesser on this part. See this blending in, and then the joints that just remain completely gone, they just gone. That happens only with modeling chocolate, and any good modeling paste also works. But then this is always easier and less expensive. You just need like few ingredients, a couple of ingredients, and then you are just good to go. I'm just scoring where the joints are, and then it just becomes easier to blend. The side, it looks like a little excess. I'm just using both the hands. I'm also going to seal this part. So the forehead just blends down. There's too much of a curve here is not needed. So as we increase the cheek, this also should just straighten out. Okay, so now the addition of the modeling chocolate, if the crevices doesn't just the joints doesn't go off by itself, you can just use a blowtorch, okay, with just a little bit of the flame coming out, not too much, okay, and then just add heat and then blend. That will just melt the white chocolate. And it will help to remove the joints. So here you can see the joints are there. Just a little bit of heat and then blend. The joints will just go. Okay, so I'm just going to add lip on that, so that lip is not the right size for this face now that the cheeks are added. I'm just going to go on and add both the lip together, cut the excess out. Smoothening the top of the lip to just blend on there. There's excess, I'm just going to cut it out. I'm just going to remove this off and blend this or remove it. So I'm just filling this part and then going to have a smooth transition, smooth movement from the cheek. Starching it so it will melt the modeling chocolate, and blending will be a little more easy. So you just need a smooth transition from there, and here there is an inclination, you can see it just slopes down from the nose part. You can level this up a little more. Now the width of the lip comes from the center of the eyeball, right? I'm just going to smooth out the sides and just add a little bit under the nose. So let me see if I need to add a little more of the nose. I'm just shaping it just a little bit. I could remove if that becomes excess. Just torching it a bit. So it blends easily. And we know that the edge of the nose is just within the inside edge of the eye. You could just have the strip here and then just make a demarcation where the eyebrow bone. And just blend this upwards. Just need a little bit here. I can see a dent. The torch you need to do only when it is kind of too stiff and kind of dry, and it wouldn't blend in with the rest of the modeling chocolate there, and crevices or the line just remains, and then you need a little bit of warmth. Okay, so this place where the nose ends and then the forehead starts is what we need, and then it just needs to go into the rest of the forehead, and then you have the bone for placing the eyebrows. You could add a little bit more to the nose. Just flattening it out a bit. I'm just making this part a bit pointy. And I'm just going to remove a little excess from here. And then use the Dresden tool and create this curve for the nose. You could just blend this in. And same way here, I'm just going to remove a little excess from there, just a little bit. And use the Dresden tool to check if I'm doing it the same way on both the sides. And here also just a little remove or blend it in. I'll come back to the nose to perfect it a bit. For now I'm just going to have the eyeball, so we just have everything in place and then we can just be sure if all the features are good enough. I'm just going to shape it like the eye itself and then fill it in. The eyelids, I will be placing it excess on top of this, which means for now I just want to check if this much is too big, and then I will just check and reduce, because on top of this the eyelids would be coming. You have to be a bit careful, trying not to lose the marking of the eye. I will cover, to make it white, I will be covering this with a thin fondant in white, because modeling chocolate in pure white is a little difficult. But then let's get the shape, and then let's cover it with the white fondant. I'm just trying to observe if both the shape and the size, and then the part which is projecting out, I just want it in the center, so we could just draw the eyeball over that. Let me just place the lower eyelid and the upper eyelid. I will blend in and remove off whatever is not needed. For now I'm just placing to check if the size of the eye is the right one. I'm just removing the excess. You could just blend that in or remove, sticking to the outline of the eye, and do not extend the eyelid beyond the level that we already marked for the eye. Here it's like the thin narrows down as it goes to that edge of the eye. And also it's not like a really thick skin there, it's a very thin one, the eyelid, so it shouldn't look like the eyelids are thick. You could just blend it in. Here we just need excess to fill it in. For now I'm just checking if the shape and the size and the symmetry between both the eyes alone, if it is good, then I could just go in here, I need to fill, and here again I just need to fill and then blend it out. It just got a little dried out. While blending, if the positions change and move, it's better to soften it up a bit. So the extra added here, I'm just going to blend this. I'm just going to raise this upper eyelid a bit. I'm just checking the symmetry for both the eyes and raise this one, and the upper eyelid of the Santa's left side is a little lower, so I'm just going to cut out a bit and then remove that off. And then check the level of the eyes, both the eyes, and also check the symmetry. I'm going to add here the nose bridge. Has this extra bump that joins the nose and the cheeks. So now I'm just going to increase the cheek a little more. I'm just adding a little bit more to get the same nose bridge here as well. So let me move on to making the eyebrows, beard and the moustache.